Hey everyone, and welcome to our C# tutorial on methods. This is kind of an extended tutorial. I'd like to just work with this example a little bit more and maybe add a little bit more functionality to our existing program. So in our previous tutorial, we created this bank account class. Inside of our class, we have a balance member variable and an add deposit method. So this is good. The add deposit method basically just adds a deposit amount to our existing balance. And I like that a lot. But what I'd also like to do is I would like to create the ability to withdraw money as well. So let's create that method now. It'll be a public method because we need to access it. It'll return nothing because it's just altering the state. It doesn't need to give back a value to the user. So we will call this, actually, let's just call this withdraw. And inside of our parameter list, I'll create an integer for our parameter, and we'll call this withdraw amount. Let's open up the scope of our method. And inside the scope, we will do a this.balance. So we're accessing our balance member variable just like we did with deposit, except we're going to say it equals this.balance minus the deposit amount. Oops, sorry, minus the withdraw amount. Okay. I was wondering why that wasn't working. Okay, so we have, and another way to do this would be just to do this, right? So this operator, which I think we may have talked about in previous tutorials, will basically just take the balance and subtract the withdraw amount from it. But I want everything to be clear, so I'm going to keep it like this. Awesome. So we have our add deposit method, which will add a deposit amount to our balance. And we have our withdraw method, which will subtract a withdrawal amount from our balance. So kind of two ends of the same coin. Awesome. So now what I would like to do is I would like to give the user a choice. So we're going to do a console.writeLine, and we will say, would you like to deposit or withdraw? And we'll take in a string, or we'll create a string variable. We'll call it user choice, and we'll set it equal to a console.readLine. And so this will read in, the user's input. And I'm going to keep this easy and not do too much error handling or anything like that. And so I'll either put in deposit or withdraw, and we'll store that into the user choice. And then I'll create an if statement here, and we'll say if user choice is equal to withdraw, then I will call our withdraw method. So to access our withdraw method, I'll call on our pizza count object dot withdraw. And we're going to take in some value here, but we have to collect that value from the user. So I'm going to copy our input over here. And so we will, what this is doing is it's reading in an input from the user and turning it into an integer. This will be the withdraw amount. And so I'll store it in a variable called withdraw amount. I'm going to pass that withdraw amount into our withdraw method. Right, so if the user chooses withdraw, we will, I'll actually ask him, we'll do a console.writeLine. And we'll say, how much would you like to withdraw? And we'll wait for him or her to pass in a withdraw amount. we'll turn it into an integer, store it in this withdraw amount variable, and then we will call the withdraw method on our pizza count object. And as we know, our withdraw method is going to subtract the withdraw amount from the balance of our bank account object, which is called pizza count. And so I will put in an else if here, and our else if will say if the user choice, remember the user is choosing if we're going to withdraw or deposit. I'm going to make these two closer to each other. So if the user choice is equal to deposit, then we will run the code in between these two curly braces. And so I'm just going to copy and paste our old code from before. So awesome. So if our user chooses to withdraw, we'll call our withdraw method. And if our user chooses to deposit, we will call our deposit method. And in the end, we'll print out our balance. Awesome. So let's run this and see what happens. Awesome. Welcome to the ATM. Your current balance is 100. Would you like to deposit or withdraw? I'll say withdraw. How much would you like to withdraw? I'll say 15. Your new balance is 85. Awesome. And so the program ends there. So we have a decent amount of functionality with this, but I'd actually like to add one last thing. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to make it so that our account loops. And so I'd like to be able to withdraw and deposit as much as I want, as many times as I want. And so I'm going to do that using a loop. And we've talked about loops before, so this should be, nothing new to you. So what I will do is I'll create a while loop. We'll say while, and I'm going to create a string called should continue. And we are going to set this string equal to yes. Normally you'd create a Boolean, but for this particular program, I'm going to ask the user, do you want to continue? And they're either going to type yes or no. Generally, you would keep a Boolean and just cast your user input over to that Boolean. But I don't feel like getting into all that. I just want to just say, is it yes or no, and move on. So while should continue is equal to yes. We're going to run all of this stuff. So we have our opening and closed curly braces here to define the scope of the while loop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my end curly brace and put it at the bottom of all of this code right here. So this code is going to keep running and keep looping as long as my should continue variable is equal to yes. And so at the end of this now, I need to give the user the opportunity to say no and exit our loop. So I am going to say should continue is equal to console.readline. And we're going to get our user input here. But first I have to ask them, hey, do you want to continue? And we'll do that through a console.writeLine. We'll say, do you want to continue? Yes or no? And so now let's run it and see if this works. Welcome to the ATM. Your current balance is 100. Would you like to deposit or withdraw? I'll say withdraw. How much would you like to withdraw? I'll withdraw 25 this time. Your new balance is 75. Do you want to continue? Yes or no? I'll type in yes. How much would you like to withdraw? I'll say 15. Your new balance is 60. Do you want to continue? Yes or no? If I hit yes, we'll go back. It says, how much would you like to withdraw? This is because I haven't reset I didn't reset the question, so it doesn't offer for us to deposit or withdraw. It just keeps getting stuck on withdraw. But as you can see, the state stays the same, right? Because our member variable balance is the same throughout this whole running of the program. So as long as the program runs and bank account as an object exists, then we have balance, right? As long as Pete's account, the object exists, we have our balance. So I'm going to say 10 more. And so our previous balance was 60, so this should be 50. And I'm going to say no and exit our program. So I'll terminate. Just to clean this up a little bit, I'm going to move in our would you like to deposit or withdraw? I'm going to move that into our while loop. And so this will be a little bit cleaner this time. Let's run it. Awesome. Would you like to deposit or withdraw? I'll say deposit. How much would you like to deposit? I'll deposit 10. New balance is 110. Let's continue. Would you like to deposit or withdraw? I will withdraw. How much would you like to withdraw? Withdraw 15. Our new balance is 95. And now you can see that this 110, 95, these numbers are being kept in our balance member variable. So I'll continue and I'll withdraw again. And I'll withdraw 15 this time. Again, we're at 80. I'll keep continuing, and you can see that every time that I'm adding and withdrawing, our variable is changing. So this is sort of like a quick rundown of sort of how state works with with C#. And I hope this has helped illustrate it for you. Also take note of how you can use while loops to sort of continuously run through the same set of instructions, and how you can use if statements to do the same. We've discussed these concepts before, but they're never going to go away. These are things you really need to know in order to program well. So this stuff is very, very crucial to your development as a developer. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you understand this a little bit better. And thanks for watching.